This is Real Talk with Brendan Bardick, where we'll be talking about the latest real estate strategies, scripts, top producing techniques, and everything you're going to want to know about how to be an elite real estate agent or real estate coach, or just a great business person. It is time for our core relationship management training. So thank you for joining me. First of all, we are going to just take a few seconds to let some people jump on. Tracy, wonderful to see you. How have you been? Good to see Tracy. If you haven't seen Tracy in a while, say hi. It's always great to see you on here. One of our better students. That doesn't mean you guys are less than her. She's just a better student than you are. So we're glad to have Tracy on here. To Neil, new hair, looking good. I like it. Wow, very fancy. Well, that's excellent. So as always, we're going to need pen and paper. Today, we're going to take a deep dive with our training into how to build a relationship business, how to build a database. You hear us talk about ambassadors at times. We talk about some of these things, but there's a lot of things that people just aren't doing the right way. I don't know how else to say it, right? And to build a relationship-built business, then we have to have a systemized way of doing that. So in the chat box, or if you want to come off of mute, and pretend that this is a real classroom. So I'm standing in front of you. We're in a classroom environment. You can raise your hand. You can ask questions. It's better to find out the answers here than to sit there and act like you know and not really know. So in the chat box or by raising your hand, and there's a little digital thing down there that lets me know that you raised your hand or somewhere. I don't know how to do it. Oh, reaction. Yeah, you can. No, I don't know. There's somehow to raise your hands. You guys know how to do it. Anyway, what's our number one job in real estate?
To make someone feel special.
To make people feel special. Exactly right, Kendra. So if that's our number one job in real estate is to make people feel special, what's our number two job?
Build relationships.
Okay, well, Tanya, yeah. So that's definitely part of making people feel special. So we got to make people feel special, and we have to do it at scale. So write that down. My number one job in real estate is to make people feel special. My number two job is to do it at scale. Some of us are really, really good at doing the first and terrible at the second. Some of us skip the entire first part and just try to scale. So we've got to make sure that we really dive into this and understand that that's where this becomes so powerful, is you have to be very, very good at both. We have to make people feel special, and we have to be able to do it at scale. So we're going to take you through today in the next 57 minutes exactly how to do that. We're going to leave today with a strategy and a plan to make sure that you're really crystal clear on what you need to be accomplishing. And then we'll save some time at the end to answer questions. And of course, you can ask questions as you go through it. All right. So a couple of things. Number one, we're going to start with, we need to, of course, understand that all of this comes down to a simple formula. Once you understand the formula of real estate, it makes it very exciting, because then you just know that at certain triggers, you make X amount of money. Now, we've talked about this many of times before. How many ambassadors do you need to have in your database for every one closing or one referral a year?
12.
Okay, so Sean says 12.
6.
Yeah, Christopher says 6. All right, so they're both right in just different ways. So the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book that Gary Keller and Jay Papasan wrote says that it's 12, and it's 12 for every 2 conversions. So it's really 1 out of 6, which is exactly what Christopher said. When you have 12 ambassadors in your database, you should produce 1 closed transaction a year and get 1 referral a year. So 2 out of every 12. If you want to make easy numbers, 1 out of every 6. The big caveat here when we use that word ambassador is that they have to be on this very specific program, and it has to be worked in a 12-month period. Now, we're going to share all of that, of course, again. We're going to go live into Follow Up Boss and actually look at some things today. But remember, and write this down, if you, and we can put it in the chat box, please. If you don't know what these 82 touches are, then you don't really have an ambassador, you have a lead. Okay? It's okay to have leads in the database. You want leads in the database. They're just not ambassadors. An ambassador is someone that you truly believe would buy or sell real estate with you or refer real estate business to you. We joke about this all the time, but if you really want to get strict on identifying an ambassador in your database, if you just gave me their phone number and didn't prompt them and I called them up and I said, "Hey, Susie, this is Brendan. I was just doing a quick survey. Who's your real estate preferred agent of choice?" If they don't say your name immediately, they're a lead. Think about that for a second. So that's the first qualification. The second is on 82 touches. So let's go through our 82, and then I'm going to go into Follow Up Boss, and we're going to talk about it a little bit here in a second. But so 82 touches are very simple. Let's start with the biggest one. Every person in your database that's an ambassador has to be receiving 52 listing alerts a year. We do that through Ylopo, whether they're a buyer or a seller. If they're a buyer, they're going to be getting properties for any type of area that they might be interested in purchasing. You go, well, I don't know if they're interested in purchasing. Well, they should be. Otherwise, they're not probably an ambassador. Number 2, or they're receiving properties for investing if they already own a home and they're looking at investment properties. I have almost everyone in my database on what we call a hot sheet that receives foreclosure, short sale properties. There's not very many of them, but they think it's cool that they see them once a week. Then the second hot list is for your people that own property, if they're not investors yet, that they're receiving a market update on what properties are listing in their neighborhood. Nothing makes me more excited in my neighborhood when I see a property come on the market and I go, wow, that's how much the houses are selling for here in my neighborhood? Cool. Goodness, if they keep going like this, or wow, I just noticed that properties are dropping in my neighborhood. Maybe it is time to sell before this gets any worse and move to Arkansas to be with Meemaw. That's not what I call my grandma. That's what some guy that used to be on our team called his grandma, Meemaw, and I thought it was about as hillbilly as you could go, but hey, that's what he called her. I don't know. Put whatever you call your grandma in the chat box. I'd be curious. You probably have some sillier names than Meemaw, but that's what he called her, right? So Meemaw in Arkansas. No, she was in Kansas. It wasn't even Arkansas. It was Kansas, straight up Kansas. All right. So 52 listing alerts in Ylopo. Got to make sure that that's on. All right. The next one is that they need to be on 12 market reports via HomeBot. We're leveraging technology, right? That's also in Ylopo, right? HomeBot, which just gives our people very beautiful property updates once a month about how much their home is worth or how much homes are selling for in a neighborhood if it's a buyer. 12 market reports, we call that a digital market report every month. We use HomeBot. Now, we also have Altos that we've used in the past. Altos is great, it's just not as intuitive. So that's why we paid the extra money to upgrade to HomeBot. If you're not using HomeBot, everyone on here that is using it will tell you you're missing out. Next, they need to be on 12 direct mailers, one direct mailer a month, every single month for the rest of their life. We prepare this monthly mailer for you, do all of the creation, all the hard work, and we mail it on your behalf and pay for everything for the first 50 that you have tagged as an ambassador. That also goes with the rest of these guidelines. If you just have them tagged as an ambassador, they're not on YLOPO, they don't have the other touches we're going to talk about here in a second, they get no mailer. Then if you have more than 50, because we have bulk pricing, all you have to do is let us know that you want it to go to 150 people, which no one right now has 150 ambassadors, but when you get there, I'll talk to you about that. And then we just charge you the exact same that we do minus the 50. Okay? Cool. So hopefully one day you'll have 7,000, right? That'll be a very exciting day. Then after we've got our 12 direct mailers, the next thing, and by far the next ones coming up are the most critical, 4 phone calls a year.